Welcome to the Business Boys Talkin Business Virtual Power Lunch. Please welcome your hosts, Tyler Price and Brian Magleby.
Hey, we are back.
Oh, look at that background.
That is awesome.
That just makes you hungry looking at that background, doesn't it?
Makes you feel like you need a hot drink.
Wow.
Specifically made
We
from a
should
cocoa
have
bomb.
the cocoa bombs here. So we hopefully he's going to bring some and share some with us, so maybe next week we can be drinking a cocoa bomb.
Yeah.
So.
Nice, and it's cold enough outside to do that, but anyway.
That's right.
But hey, we're back. Last week we had Ryan Harris.
And
this week he's got his event going on.
His event here in Idaho Falls.
Yep.
If you're wanting to participate in the networking group event, Thursday at the Hilton.
Yeah.
And you're welcome to show up there. I'm showing up there. It's going to be a great event. And yeah, since networking was all over us last week, this week's the week to do it. So Thursday's your day to network. Thursday, go to the event network at the Hilton, and then you're welcome to come have roast beef, shrimp, baked potatoes.
Is that every week?
Corn. No,
all right.
It's because I'm in charge of lunch.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's what we're having at the Idaho Innovation Center. Can you put that graphic up there for the B&I Visitors Day? If you want to put that up there, we'll just handle that right now. It'll be a graphic coming up here on the screen here. But if you want to come, if you are interested in networking your business, you should come to the Idaho Innovation Center. Come to the event 1 in the morning at the Hilton. Come to the Idaho Innovation Center at noon. I guarantee you will be fed. Just so we make sure we have enough roast beef, shrimp, salad, corn, rolls, chocolate chip cookies. I can't tell you. It's going to be a Sunday meal on Thursday at noon.
There we go. Now, Ryan's event does take a little bit of pre-planning, so if you're wanting to go there, let's contact us, and we'll get you in contact with Ryan Harris.
Or search up the event, and you can probably find it and get registered to be there. There's, I think he's allowing people to come the first time, no charge. So,
and I can't stress enough the importance of networking. So it's every day.
If you want to grow your business, that's what you need to do. So we've got a great show today. Cocoa Bombs. The show's going to be a bomb.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. It's always fun to talk to startups that are still new enough that they're fighting the fight, but they got the traction. I think that's cool stuff.
This guy's got more than traction. Yeah. He just told us what his sales were in the last quarter.
Q4, yep.
Wow. It's more than what my retail business used to do in a year.
Yeah.
So that's how on fire this guy is. Eric Garcia from Cocoa Bombs. He's moved the business. He went to Boise State. Now he's back here in his home city of Blackfoot, Idaho.
Proud. We like that.
That is. Yeah. And I think he's the 3rd or 4th guest we've had from that area. But, man, he is lighting it up with his Cocoa Bombs. We're excited to have him on the show today. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the classes that we have.
Yeah, we got the one tomorrow, which you probably already needed to be a part of. So
last week, but if you wanted to join the leadership class.
I went. I'll say Christine Gardner's doing a great job.
Absolutely. She was our guest a couple weeks ago. And the leadership class, we filled the room.
It's pretty full.
It's there, and we are excited. But if you happen to have missed that and would like to, feel free to shoot me a text. We'll have Tyson put my phone number up there if it's something you'd be interested in, the leadership class. But we've got the Business Essential Startup class. This is a new class that we're doing with the SBDC. It is going to be, it's the 4th Monday of every month, and it goes from 3 to 5. So if you're a new startup business and needing help in getting your business set up right with the LLC, EIN, business plan, all those kind of things, you should be at this class. We can do it virtually. If you would like, the link's going to be on there on the flyer. But once again, email us if you would like to go to that class. It's next Monday at 3 to 5 at the Idaho Innovation Center. The next one is the digital marketing class. We have that starting up. This one, if we had to say there was a favorite class of all the classes we teach, every business needs this.
Boy, this one is really solid because it's always great when you have a digital marketing agency owner teaching a digital marketing.
It's every Wednesday, 1:30 to 3 in the month of February. So this is a great class that if you haven't taken it, you should. Every business needs to have weeks starting mid-February on Tuesday nights at College of Eastern Idaho. So love to have you. This is a class that's been very popular. This is like the 4th year I think we've taught this class.
Yep. Oh, and great jobs, because I've taken this class as well, and these are great resources. Sometimes classes are free, sometimes there's a little bit of an investment, but I'll say the money that's spent, and Brian always puts a money back guarantee on everything.
Yep, everything I do, you get your money back if you don't get your value for it. So let's quickly thank our sponsors.
Yeah, how about those guys like BBSI?
Love them.
Man, they are great. You have payroll needs, you have exit strategy needs, you have coaching needs, you have
anything. HR.
These guys and gals will take care of you.
The best in the area by far. So Volpine Marketing, we've already talked about Ryan, the instructor for our class. So Tyson here at New Line Media keeping us going, and he does a great job. If you have any video projects that you need for your business, highly, highly, highly recommend. He's taken care of some of the people. He even took care of one that was like a crucial down to the deadline, needed to be done in 2 or 3 days. And this guy stepped in and got it done. Absolutely phenomenal job. So, and of course, the SBDC, what is it?
That's the best kept secret in all of Idaho. I mean, they've a ton of free resources. They will help you from beginning to, like you mentioned, help you create a identity, whether that's an LLC or what have you, help with EIN numbers, which, interesting enough,
to you about having an office at the Idaho Innovation Center. So thank you for those plugs. It's good to be here. We're gonna do a little swapperoo here.
Leaving.
I've got a vamoose to a board meeting, and so Tyler's gonna handle the interview today.
See, I have it in my phone the time wrong, but you knew what time it was. Tell your board to pound sand.
Well, I'm going to suggest a change of time for it today, but I'm not sure I'm going to tell them to pound sand. But I've got to slip out here, so Tyler's going to be interviewing Eric Garcia, the man, the myth, the legend from Cocoa Bombs. If you are on TikTok, you know about this guy. He lit it up on TikTok, and that's what set his business up and is cruising since then. So let's learn a little bit about Eric Garcia and Cocoa Bombs with this quick 3-minute video, and then you'll welcome Eric onto the set. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
A cocoa bomb is a new way to drink hot chocolates. It's basically a hollow chocolate sphere. You place this bomb inside of a mug, pour some hot milk over it, and then you watch the marshmallows explode to the top, stir it around, and it makes a really yummy cup of hot chocolate. The moment I knew this was going to be a very viable product was when I started going viral. So I uploaded this video, and within minutes it had 1,000 views, and then I refreshed, it was 3,000, 5,000, and so on. Shortly after that, my first order came through, and I remember thinking like, oh cool, maybe if I get a couple more orders throughout the day, I can start working on them tomorrow. I completely underestimated that, because by the end of the day, I had over $7,000 worth of orders. I had hundreds of customers to ship products to, and I had to make over 1,000 bombs. And I had really only made one cocoa bomb. I basically went back to my entrepreneur professor at Boise State University, Kent Newport, who guided me in the right direction of getting an attorney, filing for a trademark, registering the company. And then from there, the rest is history. During my degree, I was studying international business. A lot of that really is accounting, marketing, and just the general things that a business needs to run and be successful. So because of that program, I felt that I was able to manage a lot of the things when I first started, to build the foundation for the business, to then scale it up and move forward. When we first started in 2019 and 2020, we were working out of a commercial kitchen that was maybe 1/20th of this size. And that makes it really hard to scale up, take a lot of these really large orders, and try to grow the business. But now that we have our own space, it makes things a lot easier. We keep all of our stuff here, and this is where we ship, make, package, and distribute all of our items out of. really just coming back to the hometown I was raised in is sort of a tribute to me to give back to my community, give people jobs. Here in this area, you really only work a lot of in the agricultural sector, potatoes, animals, and stuff like that. And I really wanted to bring something that was untraditional to that. Candy is something that is completely different, and the people that are working for us here and my family are having a lot of fun with this along the way. I owe a lot to my parents, my mom, my dad, my brothers and sisters, all of my family. All my life, they've really sacrificed a lot. They've given us everything that we needed. And this is just something that I would like to grow and scale into, to then have them be, better off the rest of their life and just sort of unwind and just relax. It's time for me to take over and take care of my family and my parents especially.
Well, great. I'm excited to take some time with Eric today. And when I think of Blackfoot, Idaho, I think of hot chocolate, cocoa bombs, and chocolatiers. So how did you get involved in great video? I mean, Boise State gets to use that in marketing, and you're the poster child of Boise State now, apparently. But how does you even say, hey, I want to do that?
Yeah, so actually, first of all, thank you guys for having me.
Great
really happy to be here. I guess to kind of give some backstory, I started the company back in 2019. It started when I had actually just recently came back from Italy. There was a lot that I did during my time there. I spent 2 years studying my undergrad and then part of my master's. And during that time, I actually worked at a gelato shop, and I was living in a city that was like super passionate for chocolate and the confectionery industry. I'm sure you've heard of like Ferrero, the chocolate company, the one behind Ferrero Rocher and all that stuff. So I saw an item that is super popular there. They have a version of it here, but it's basically like an egg. You eat the outside of the egg, and then on the inside you have like a toy that kids kind of just like prop open and build, So that was a lot of inspiration for me. And when I came back to the States, I took a job up in accounting. It wasn't really my cup of tea or cup of chocolate, let's say. And I found myself that I was unmotivated in the work field in accounting, and it was just kind of boring, and it was unfulfilling. So I started just kind of playing around with this idea, of like chocolate, something like that. And then one day, I think it was, just a sign from the universe, from God, really, whatever you want to call it. But I specifically remember, it was my mom's birthday. I was kind of just hanging out at home. It was a weekend. This idea was like, no, you have to get up and start, kind of playing around with this, tinkering around with it. Just get up and do something, do it. Went to the store, I bought like 15 or 20 bucks worth of items, came back home, and I was still living with one of my housemates, actually, like a roommate, sleeping on his couch, just kind of hanging out there. And next thing you know, like this idea came into my mind, and one thing kind of led to another. He was making hot chocolate, scrolling through Instagram, saw like a bunch of cute like bath bomb videos and stuff like that, and I was like, everything just clicked. Came up with the prototype. That's actually the very first cocoa bomb I made, was posted on our TikTok account. And I remember I kind of got like 5 or 6 different prototypes. They were all horrible except for one. So I kept that one decent prototype, kind of just started playing around with it, put that inside of a mug, heated up some milk, poured it over. And it's funny because the first prototype actually called for a really good video, but it was sort of a failure because I forgot to take the chocolate out of the plastic. So I poured the milk over it, and it just, kind of
sat there.
Sat there.
Really.
And the only thing holding the 2 plastic halves together was like chocolate that I kind of put around it. So it made for a really good video. It like the chocolate melted at the seam and it exploded, and marshmallows came popping up.
Oh, cool.
I used Mariah Carey's, what do you want to call it, her Christmas anthem, I guess, right? For a background in the video. And next thing you knew, I was kind of posting it to my personal stuff, my Facebook, my Instagram, my Snapchat, all that stuff. And it got some attention, but
Yeah.
when it came to like, oh, where did you buy these? Where did you get them? I told, a lot of the people who messaged me like, oh, I sell them. If you want, just reach out to me.
Yeah.
And that was that. It never
Yeah.
really sold, so to say.
Because yeah, we're making a transition from kind of a cool video that people say, hey, I want one, to how do I get one?
Exactly.
And you're talking miles of that have to be traversed for you to be having a marketable item that
Exactly.
you can sell out.
Yep.
So when your very first one that you sold then was what was that process then?
Yeah. So coming back to that, I saw that it wasn't converting to sales through my channels, deleted everything. Not deleted the video, but took everything down. Then I went back, built a website. I saw the traction was there, the interest was there. So I built a website using Shopify's 2-week free trial, found the domain cocobombs.com.
Yeah.
And then I took the Twitter, the Instagram, the YouTube, all the social media channels that I could get, TikTok, everything, and built a foundation off of that. Then after that, got the website up and running. Went back this time to TikTok, posted the video, captioned who would buy this, and I wasn't really expecting much, honestly. But within a few minutes, I was just getting a lot of views, and then I'd scroll, and it was like 5,000, 10,000
Wow.
views, and then a couple seconds later, first order came in, and I was like, okay, great. Maybe if I just wait, a couple more hours or whatever, I'll get 5 or 6 more orders and work on them tomorrow.
Yeah.
I severely underestimated the power of TikTok. By the end of the day, I had over, I think it was like 2 million views.
Wow.
And there was just hundreds of people on my website. Within that 10-hour time frame from when I first posted the video to when I had to be like, okay, I got to do something about this. 10 hours, I had sold like $6,000, $7,000 worth of products.
Yeah.
And granted, I had only ever made one
Yeah.
cocoa bomb.
Yeah, no, don't worry about
Yeah,
the
so
baking
I was
process.
like,
Let's
oh
see, can we
crap,
sell it
how am I
first?
gonna do this? So that led me to take the next steps to go seek help, right?
Yeah,
I had no idea what to
yeah.
do. I wasn't a business, nothing,
Yeah.
legal entity, nothing. Long story short, I went to my Boise State entrepreneur professor, Kent Newport, super awesome guy. Told him everything, showed him actually everything that was happening.
Yeah.
At one point during that time from, sold to him, going to him, I put a close to my website. I was like sold out.
Yeah.
But when I was with him, I opened it up just for a couple of minutes. And within those couple of minutes, it was just like $100, $80,
Yeah.
$200,
Yeah.
60, 40, just orders coming in.
So how were you fulfilling the orders in the beginning?
So I wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I was just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Where do I go?
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I've taken people's money.
Yeah, you better deliver.
Yeah, I need
Yeah.
to do something.
Yeah.
He was like, well, you have 2 options. And I was like, okay, what is it? He's like, you either give people all their money back
Yeah.
or you get your ass to work.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not about to give people back, all
don't
this
give money
money.
back.
Exactly.
Don't
Like,
give money
this
back.
is something they want. I'm getting
Yeah.
calls, emails, everything about this product. So I'm going to go with the latter,
Yeah.
figure out how to
Let's
do
get
this.
this thing. Let's get
Exactly.
the party started.
Referred me to an attorney. He helped me expedite the process of setting up an LLC. Cocoa Bombs LLC was established. Helped me file a trademark for the name Cocoa Bombs. There was nothing like that at the time. Cocoa Bombs when I
amazing.
invented it and
Yeah.
it came out. So we got all that figured out. Then the next step was really figuring out the manufacturing process, that manufacturing side of it. That was probably what took the longest.
Yeah.
It was about a week and a half to 2 weeks before I could finally fulfill those couple of hundred orders that came
And
in.
were people pretty understanding? Like, were you
Most
in
were,
contact?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
A lot of people were very understanding. I want to say the majority, 99.9% of them were.
Good.
I told them, I was like, hey, look, like this is an unexpected sort of product that blew up. Like we had no idea we'd have this much demand and orders coming our way. So please give us, anywhere from 10 to 14 working days, and we'll make sure to get the orders fulfilled. And everyone was like, oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah. They were like, no, like I'll wait. I really want the product. This is so cool. So yeah, I spent about a week and a half just kind of talking to different, so to say, co-manufacturers, chocolatiers, and stuff like that. I'm sure you're familiar with Idaho Candy Company, the company behind the Idaho Spud Bar. Yeah, so his name, president of that company, his name is actually Dave Wagers. So he was one of the first people I went to. We did the whole NDA thing, blah, blah, blah. This is what I have in my hand. And we talked about it, and he was like, well, this is a really cool product, but I can't help you with
Okay.
this. This is a difficult thing to make.
Yeah.
I don't have the capabilities to do this. And it was during December when I came to him, and he's like, maybe a couple months sooner we could have probably figured it out, but not now.
They're in the middle of their busiest part of the
Exactly.
year. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So I spoke to a couple others, no help.
Yeah.
Nobody was any help.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, just calls here and there. We ended up coming to a commercial kitchen out in Blackfoot.
Yeah.
So that's where I just ordered a bunch of like molds and, got my family together, got some chocolate from the wholesale, stores like, what was it called before? Smart Food Service.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then got a couple of things off Walmart online. And then I just got to work and,
Yeah.
me and my family made all the items. We figured out how to package them, how to ship them, how to do the labels. It was a lot of work.
No, they're
Ton of work.
yeah. People don't realize what goes into. I'm on Amazon. Click. I want this here next day. Right. There's a lot of
A ton
of logistics
Yeah.
behind that. And
Yeah.
So, well, that's amazing. I mean, truly is amazing. So when you were in Italy, it wasn't that you saw a cocoa bomb there. You saw a candy with a toy in it, and that kind of sparked some innovation
Just
on your own.
they have obviously some similar candies that we do, but I was living in a city that was really, really passionate about all their confections, chocolate especially.
Yeah.
And working in a gelato shop, I realized that working with food and like with customers, and that was something I found really, I guess, fulfilling. Like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
People, anytime you eat gelato, like, or ice cream, you're happy. Like you never, and it was fun. So I took a lot of inspiration from like their different candies and their stuff, and that's what led from nothing to like this cocoa bomb sort of thing. From Kinder product Ferrero Rocher to this like cocoa bomb product, and ever since then, it really just blew up. 2019, we kind of went that route of figuring out how to package, how to label, how to ship, how to make customers come back and whatnot. 2020 came around and we were still in that commercial kitchen. By that time, we had gotten a lot of national and even international attention. 2020 Q4 was a very, how do I say this? I guess motivating time for me. We had some of America's largest retailers reach out to us saying, hey, I have about 400 stores. I want a pallet maybe for each one. Or, like, oh, this is one of your wholesale clubs, America's largest wholesale club. We want to order for this next holiday season, 1 million plus units. And you're talking huge numbers at that point, right? So that was really inspiring. Also a little, what's the word I'm trying to look for? A little sort of intimidating at the time.
Yeah, because those guys, they don't pay instant either. So not only do you have to fulfill, but then you could be 30, 60, 90 days out, and they want a discount. And so anyway, that's intimidating and terrifying all at the same time. But there's people that do it. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not that it's an opportunity you don't want to explore, but you got to realize who you're getting in bed with. Because I was a vendor at a big company that I have little respect for that big company. They employ a lot of people, but man, they take advantage of vendors. So
they can.
That's part of their game plan, actually.
They definitely can. So, 2020, we were kind of looking at that, working at a commercial kitchen. Realized we really had to kind of ramp things up if we were going to start taking a lot of these larger clients. And fast forward to 2021, we got a brand new facility up and running. So now we manufacture all of our items in Blackfoot, Idaho. We employ a lot of women that work there. I think it's a great way to introduce a new sort of job to the market that's very agricultural based. It gives women the opportunity to work in something different, something fun, more comfortable, so to say. We took on larger clients. This past season, entered, I want to say, around 300, close to 400 stores.
Wow.
And now we're just getting ready to ramp things up for, the holiday 2022 season and even as early as 2023 season.
So are you still selling direct to consumers?
Yeah, so we do, I want to say 2020 to 2021, we definitely made a switch. We went from about 70% direct to consumer, 30% wholesale to flip. Now we do 70% wholesale, 30% direct to consumer. You can find a lot of our products on big sites like Walmart, Amazon, of course our website as well. But we found that it's, so to say, more lucrative
Yeah.
to be on the wholesale side.
Now you're out there working at it and you've trademarked or you're in the process of finishing up the
Mhm.
trademark for the name.
Mhm.
Someone infringes on that, because I'm
Mhm.
sure there's people that have.
Mhm.
Then what's the play? Is it to shut them down, or is it to get a percentage of business, or what do you guys do with that? Because your brand,
Mhm.
they're infringing on your brand.
Yeah.
They're infringing on
Oh,
your
yeah.
name, and you went
Mhm.
spent a lot of time and money and effort to get that trademark.
Yeah.
So what do you do as people either deliberately or
Mhm.
or not, but
Mhm.
they're infringing? So what's the game plan
Right.
there?
So there's a lot going on with the name right now. When we went to go file this trademark, there was no name out there for this confection that was protected. So cocoa bombs as a term didn't exist
Right.
anywhere on the USPTO. You looked it up online, nothing was there. And when I went to file the trademark, we went in with that knowledge, with that research, with that understanding. Um, and then that process takes time.
Yeah.
And my video had gone viral. A lot of people had seen it. Some people started kind of noticing. People that I probably didn't want to notice did notice.
Yeah.
And 2020 comes around, and you start to see a lot of similar products, exact same products
Yeah.
out in the market, with a very similar name. And what we have found is that our name is currently still under the trademark application process because it has been more generalized now. There's this whole sort of thing that's going on behind the scenes that we've been working, to figure out for the past 2 years. So for now, the term cocoa bombs, I'm trying to protect as much as possible.
Yeah.
But given the sort of genericism, so to say, and quote from the USPTO, there's a lot of work that goes into that and a lot of money that
Yeah.
really goes into that as
Yeah.
well. So for now, we've kept cocoa bombs. We've kind of taken it a step further to be more distinguishable, distinctive by adding the term Eric's Original Cocoa Bombs.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we are in that process. And just kind of given the information I know now, that's really all I can
Yeah.
say, I guess. Yeah.
Well, and you keep growing. So quarter over quarter, how is it looking?
So quarter over quarter, it's looking really well. We from 2020 to 2021, we tripled our
Wow.
sales. Yeah. So
That's a trick in and of itself
Yeah.
to deal with the growth.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a lot of growth happened really fast. And I moving into this new facility really helped us be able to, take off that
Right.
way. But it's still a lot of work, figuring out packaging, predicting the quantities, getting everything, the plans together, because there's a lot of food safety plans that have to be in place to do this, register with the
Right.
FDA, get our workers trained. So we're growing pretty steadily. I think just last Q4 we did around over 150,000 cocoa bomb units.
Yeah.
So those went like this super
Wow.
fast. I underestimated the amount of packaging, so we could have done more sales, 4 times the amount of sales, but we ran out of packaging really
Yeah.
fast.
Well, that hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
Not to rub salt in wounds, but you don't forecast, and you're talking the difference between solid year to a year where we
Mhm.
multiply it by 4, or a quarter that
Exactly.
we multiply it by 4, which is
Exactly.
significant, right?
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. So, a lot of it though was really tied to not having that building done in time.
Yeah.
Moving in super late October. Customers wanted them delivered some by August, by September. We didn't move until October, start manufacturing in October. So that kind of took a toll. But
So,
now that we know,
well, and this is great because I kind of jokingly said, when I think of Blackfoot, I think of chocolate creations and
Right.
these confections and whatnot. But you're going to make it that way. Is that fair to say? I mean, it's like because what's beyond cocoa bomb? Do you have other things that are rattling around
oh
in
yeah,
your head?
definitely,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, cocoa bombs is definitely our staple product.
Yeah.
It's something we're going to be focusing on heavily for years to come. But just kind of given the context we've came across, the people, we've started networking with, a lot of the buyers, for example, Kroger, we've been working with Kroger really closely. We sold a lot of items to them just this past quarter,
Yeah.
only for one division. And, one of their contacts put us in contact with another Kroger buyer. Same company, just different division, more regions.
Right.
And they're like, hey, what other products do you have? What other stuff are you kind of coming out with? We're always looking to buy from smaller companies, and one advantage I have that I didn't know until I started working with some of these buyers is that it really kind of helps to be women or minority owned.
Right.
There's a certain amount of, like, I guess, sales or purchases they have to make from companies like ours.
Yeah.
So that helps. And then just having those different contacts,
Yeah.
they're always kind of looking for the next thing to happen.
No.
Yeah.
No, really, really cool stuff. I mean, but what do you see? I mean, if you just keep on the trajectory of, hey, we got this one product and we're just going to master that.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say the forecast for the company?
If it's just one product, I mean, we definitely see ourselves focusing about 80% of our attention on cocoa bombs, 20% on, just sort of different variations of cocoa bombs or cocoa bombs based products sort of all around that product. But, just for example, we did that 150 or so thousand units this past quarter alone. This year alone, we're probably trying to do closer to 500,000, 750,000.
Wow.
Just kind of estimated roughly. And that's just kind of where we plan on going, as we grow as a company, as we get more capital that comes our way, we're going to up our production capabilities,
Right.
Our product offerings.
No, cool, amazing stuff. So are you still in contact with Boise State, or did they just
Yeah.
kind of like, or what is their role with you at this point?
Yeah, so Boise State has been a really important step in just helping me get to where I am today. I mean, I would not have been able to do this without, the connections at my College of Business, and economics, and then going to Italy, made a huge impact in my life. It literally changed my life.
Yeah.
Coming back, I had no idea where to go, but Boise State was a big part of that. They actually helped me kind of get in contact with Small Business Development Center and, talk to attorneys and talk to, their tech help division. So Tech Help, have you heard of them before?
I don't think I'm familiar with Tech Help.
So Tech Help is like their Idaho Manufacturing Alliance.
Okay.
So they kind of help a lot of these companies like write food safety plans.
Are they
kind of
specific to the food industry, or are they other
No,
lines?
so
Okay,
they're
other verticals
yeah.
too.
So it's
Okay.
all manufacturing.
Yeah.
Big part of it I think is food, but it's like tech and
Yeah.
metals and all that kind of stuff that
Yeah.
really goes into it. So huge part of Boise State. I would say the networking is definitely the biggest thing that
Yeah.
I have with Boise State right now.
Well, and I hear you talking about the help that your family's given you, the help that Boise State's given you, but we do have to remember there was a time where you had an option to send the money back.
Yeah.
And you dared to move forward, which congratulations and
Thank
way
you.
to go.
Thank you.
Because it takes this type of swagger and this type of, no, we can do this, right?
Yeah.
Because who knows? It could have gone the other direction,
Exactly.
but it looks very promising.
Mhm.
So that now Blackfoot, Idaho, getting after it. If people want to come and get people pitching ideas to you at this point.
A couple. Mostly, we hear a lot of input from these buyers,
Yeah.
from a lot of our large wholesale
Which
buyers.
is good to know.
Yeah.
They're the ones buying.
Exactly.
So we should kind of play to them, right?
Exactly. Yep. And as we start to, I guess, grow and continue to fulfill a lot of these orders for these buyers, we see a lot of questions asked and like, hey, can you do this? Or could we put our label on it? Private label, white label, what if we do the backside?
Yeah.
So we're moving, like the company started direct to consumer. We've moved to wholesale now, and we're kind of keeping in line with the wholesale stuff, moving to private label and kind of getting a lot of input where we can.
And you foresee it staying in Blackfoot?
For the meantime, I foresee this side of the company staying in Blackfoot. Yes. So I guess long term, really, I'm in it for the long term.
Yeah.
I got asked if I had an exit strategy.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Isn't everyone saying,
Yeah,
"Now, what's your exit strategy?" What are you talking about? I just kept the money. I'm just at this thing, right?
And
Everyone's so quick to jump on an exit
right?
strategy. Enjoy the ride.
Exactly. And I mean, I'm still so young enough to where I have, my life to just kind of, grow this business, stay in it long term. I'm having a lot of fun with the food industry, especially confectionery. It's been a lot of fun. I'm super creative, and I love like kind of just having that ability be applied to my work.
Yeah.
It gives me a lot of flexibility to design packaging, pack sizes, shapes, whatever. So it's a lot of fun for me. Long term, I see myself staying with Cocoa Bombs, but also expanding that sort of portfolio into other, candy companies. Maybe some that are getting ready to retire, or some that don't want to deal with the buyers and the manufacturing and that kind of stuff.
Well, I'm super glad that we met, and I'm
Same here.
going to watch and hopefully stay in contact through networking. I mean, there's great networking opportunities here. I like to make ice cream, and so I make a ton of ice cream. But I make like my favorite one, which right now is 50-50. 50% of people love it, 50% of people are looking at me like, what? But it's a bacon maple goat cheese vinaigrette ice cream.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which I love it, but not so much. Olive oil, I like it, but I'll never make it again. Olive oil ice cream is like really earthy. But anyway, does that ever cross your mind about, I mean, you got the cocoa bomb, right? And it looks like you do white chocolate, things like that, but like throwing a jalapeno in there, do you do that currently? Or
It's actually something we're working on just right now, actually. That's very funny you mentioned that.
Because it does. I've had jalapeno chocolate cinnamon mix, and it has a little burn to it, but it's got a great kick to it.
Yeah, so we have the ability to make over 200 unique flavor profiles. We kind of like to focus on maybe 10, especially since we just kind of moved into this facility, started to really ramp things up this last year. We focused on 10 that we knew would sell and do great. But, now we have a little bit, more time, especially that our super busy season has sort of passed, focusing on R&D, different pack sizes, getting all that stuff together. Yeah, I mean, we've played around with bourbon whiskey. That was a popular item that, was bought by a large restaurant chain. They ordered, can't remember how many they ordered, and they really loved them, and they're like, yeah, like, let's do this. Spicy, there's one that we're kind of working on now, sort of like your hot sauce sort of thing. So yeah, there's a lot of room for creative flavors and unique profiles, like your bacon goat cheese vinegar ice cream.
Like who would have thought?
Exactly.
Right? And I didn't come up with that idea. I looked at another one company that was doing it, and I just put my spin on it. Right?
Okay.
But I liked yours because I don't know that was there anybody really doing what you're doing before. Now, maybe there was. Maybe someone in their home was making it. Right? But anyway, super cool. I'm grateful you're in the area because we like cool companies in the area. So. But anyway, is there anything else that you would like to talk about the business and your journey?
I would say that really at the end of the day, just sort of, trust your instinct. I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there that kind of question themselves and is like, is there really something I want to do? Like, what if this happens? What if this happens? Everything in life is a risk. This business in itself too, I had to ask for a little bit of funding to get things kicking off. My parents loaned me around $100,000, which was a huge risk.
We love mom and dad. Let's understand something. You were never a $100,000 earner on their tax returns. So they are really investing in you, right? So they love you. They believe in you. That's great.
And, thanks to them, my parents, my mom, my dad, they've sacrificed a lot, in their life. Me being first generation here, I feel like it's something I owe to them. And then even to myself, it makes me work 10 times harder. It's difficult, but it's not impossible.
No.
You see a lot of these companies start out from nothing and then get to where they are today. They can do it, you can do it.
There was a time when your professor gave you an option. Send the money back, get your ass to work, it sounds like was
Exactly.
phrase,
Yep.
so.
Exactly.
So your quote is, which I kind of like it. It's kind of a Nike-esque, right? Just go for
Yeah.
it. So, which I mean, you've lived it. You're
Yeah.
not just like saying it. You've lived it.
Mhm.
But what's the fear that you faced as you go for it? There's got to be a little bit of anxiety of some level.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the biggest thing is losing your money, losing your
Yeah,
investment.
your parents. They
Exactly.
worked hard for that money.
Exactly,
Right?
especially when it's sort of like on their backs, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my God, like I really have to make this happen,
Yeah,
or I owe my parents,
Yeah.
X amount of work and money, for years to
Yeah.
come. But I really would say that really just going for it has helped me get to where I am today. Before I was doing this in a past life, I was a photographer.
Yeah.
And that was the same thing. I started when I was around 16 or 17, and I was really young, taking on some of like these older clients, and they'd kind of look at me like, "Are you sure you know what you're doing?"
You
And
know what you're doing.
I'm just like, "Yeah, of course," And some of them,
Been doing
and
this my whole life.
honestly, for some of them it wasn't too good. But as the years went by, 17, 18, 19, 20, I learned a lot. I actually ended up taking a position at Boise State as their photographer for the Department of Marketing and Communications.
Right.
Learned a lot there. That helped me, propel that sort of career when I had it. And, it was really just going for it.
Yeah.
That helped me kind of succeed in that. That chapter's kind of been, I guess, closed, let's say.
Yeah.
Not finished, but, it's not something I focused on anymore.
Maybe a hobby. at this
Exactly,
point, yeah.
exactly. And, Cocoa Bombs, I saw like this huge opportunity, this viable opportunity, orders coming in, interest, calls. I'm just like, well, I'm just going to go for it. The
Yeah.
demand's there, the orders are there. I just have to go for it. And
So how do people find Cocoa Bombs?
yeah, so Cocoa Bombs right now are available on our website, www.cocoabombs.com. That's COCOABOMBS.com. You can also find some of our products on Amazon. Just Google on Amazon, just go into the search bar, look for Cocoa Bombs. I think we're getting ready to launch some Valentine's Day stuff on there. Find us on Walmart.com. Kroger especially. I know we probably don't have any of those locations
Not
here.
here, but they're out there.
But yeah,
right?
if you're out there viewing from where you do have a Kroger, go ahead and find us in Kroger. And yeah, just keep your eye out because we're slowly making our way into some of America's largest retailers.
Well, you're doing cool stuff, and I think you're on for bigger and better things. And,
Thank you.
And hopefully your parents charge you.
I owe it to them.
Yes, yeah. I think you're going to take care of them.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I like the story because there's some humility involved. There's some swagger involved, like there
Mhm.
should be. And anytime you have family involved and it goes right, that's always a good thing.
Definitely, yeah.
But I want you to stay here because we are going to talk, segue into our next and final section, which is talking about setting goals. I'm a big goal-oriented person. I find that that's the only way that I get things done. And there's many methodologies out there, and maybe you have a methodology that you like, but the one that Brian has used and that we're talking about today is the SMART goal writing. We're in 2022. If you haven't started to write out goals, I highly recommend that you take some time to do that. I believe that there's 4 areas of my life that I set goals. There's physical, mental, social, and spiritual, and it's worked for me. I say I've had successes in life. I also say I've had a few lumps on my head, but I'm with the same lady for 31 years, love her to death, and we take time every week to talk about goals. And some weeks we're better at it than others in terms of execution. But hey, we're in this thing together.
Exactly.
But the SMART methodology, first, it's specific. What is it that you want? I go so far as to say when I'm writing out my goal, I write it as though it's been accomplished.
Yes,
that's
a
my
big
methodology.
thing. Yeah, and that's something actually that I've experienced.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen. Back when I did that in 2020, I wrote this a couple of times. Every week or so, every other week, I would write on a little Post-it note, do $150,000 in sales in Cocoa Bombs. 2020, that's really close to what we did.
Yeah.
And, just writing it down and acting like it's already been done. $150,000 in sales, Cocoa Bombs. It happened.
Wow.
And then this year I did the same thing, and
Yeah.
I got really, really close to what we did in sales too. Is now I'm writing it for an even bigger amount this
Love it.
year, and I know it's gonna happen. You just
Yeah.
have to sort of act like it's already happened. You know, like you've already accomplished
Because
it.
the universe wants that for
Oh
you,
yeah.
or
Oh
God,
yeah.
as we've said
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
But I do think that here it's be specific, and it is in your
Mm-hmm.
case. Now we got to up that. We might have to put another
Exactly.
zero in there at some point,
Exactly.
right? So, I
Exactly.
mean, we will.
Yeah.
We
Oh yeah.
absolutely will.
Definitely. Definitely.
The next step is measured, like, and you do, you
Mhm.
track yours. Like if we look at our business specifically,
Mhm.
I know in my businesses, we are measuring this every, 8 times a year. We're looking at certain things almost every month.
Mhm.
But are you looking at yours typically quarterly, or how are you measuring your data?
Mine's more quarterly. Definitely some quarters are heavier
Yeah.
and more busy than others. You know, as we enter Q1, you know, it's sort of a slower season. You know, holidays pass, people have spent their money, you know, buyers are kind of slowing down a bit, and then, you know, as we start to ramp up for like Valentine's and Easter, you know, that kind of picks up a little bit more. Summertime sales are not super heavy, but negotiations are.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's kind of what I do when it comes to breaking up the year, I guess, in quarters.
Yeah.
Q1, Q2, you know, kind of just focus on getting through Valentine's Day and Easter. And then come like the summertime, I'm talking to bigger clients, even as early as, you know, Q2 for these huge buyers,
Right.
Q1 for some,
Right.
to get into, you know, 2022 planning, 2023 planning, 2 years ahead, you know, and
Yeah.
really just kind of focus on what they want and what we'll be able to do.
And just not off topic, but are they giving specific numbers to you at that
Oh
point?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh
so-
yeah. They're giving us numbers, and that's where we have to kind of start forecasting and, you know, get budgets for packaging,
Right.
chocolate, sourcing items has been really hard
Yeah,
lately,
I'm
just
sure.
given the global issue. You know,
Yeah.
supply chain stuff is a bit of a mess right now.
Yeah. And then, so measured, so great, achievable. So we don't want to set goals that just, I mean, we got to eat the elephant one bite at a time. I don't know why you want to eat an elephant, but if you were to eat an elephant, it'd be one bite at a time.
Yep.
In your case, you started with, hey, I want to see us get to this amount on an annual basis. Now you're probably doing that or exceeding that on a quarterly basis, right? Relevant is the next one. What are the kind of the steps that need to happen for this goal to become reality, right? And then timed, I think it's imperative for us to put time, because if you said one day, right, the one day things, they always get. So anyway, what else would you say to somebody, because now here you are, you're what, 22, 23, 24, 25?
I'm 25.
25.
Yeah.
So now did you go Blackfoot or Snake River?
I went to both, actually.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you were that kid.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. But now Blackfoot and Snake River ask you to come back and talk to their student body. And so what are the things in terms of goal setting that what's going to be your advice to this up and coming, because they're up and coming.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I think, and I've heard this from actually somebody who's a big inspiration. You know, she owned a candy company. You know, we kind of met through this whole, you know, chocolate ordeal, cocoa bomb ordeal. And she said one thing that really stuck with me, and I've loved it ever since. But and I use it now. It's small bites at a time really just help you get to bigger and bigger goals. You know, you don't want to eat the entire elephant at once.
Yeah.
And if you try to take on too much too quickly or all at once, you're going to be overwhelmed and burned out. You have to break it up into smaller sections, whether that's, you know, physically, you want to lose weight, gain muscle, whatever, you want to, you know, produce more. You can't produce, you know, 150,000 units all at once. It has to be broken up into, you know, production schedule and all that stuff. So small bites at a time will get you to your big goals and to where you want it.
Yeah. Everybody wants to get there and have the exit strategy, but it's like, enjoy the ride.
Exactly.
Man. This is the best part. So, well, super grateful that you made it. I know Brian's been bugging you to come on, and then he bailed on us, but that's probably okay. But watch Eric Torres Garcia and the cool things that Cocoa Bomb's doing, because this is a big deal for our area. I'm excited to see new products and that he's up to. But with that, we'll just go ahead and close out the show. There's a video that Brian has in regards to the SMART goal technology or steps. And then if you're wanting some of this information, please reach out to Brian directly or to myself, and we'll. But thanks to Tyson today. Thanks you, Eric.
Thank you for having me.
And now we're going to talk, let me tell you. All right. Anyway, thanks again. Peace.
Thank you, everyone.
session is on how to write SMART goals. I'll walk you through where goals live in the planning hierarchy and then how to write great, meaningful SMART goals for your organization. Let's jump in. We're using the terminology goals in this particular video to articulate those statements in your plan that are short-term in nature, 12, 24 months-ish, and they have outcome statements built into them. They live in between strategic objectives or strategic priorities, which are those broad statements that make up the framework of your plan, and they cascade into shorter term items, which are initiatives and action items less than 12 months in nature. You might use different words for this particular part of your plan. Either way, what we really care about is that there's outcome statements within the goals. And let's talk about that. We're using the acronym SMART because it works and it helps us write great goals. It's a little bit overdone, so we have a little bit of a twist on it, but use it, it works. Let's spell it out. S stands for specific, M, measurable, A, actionable, R, realistic, and T, time-bound, with a little asterisk. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's apply it. I'm going to take it a little bit out of order and build the goal, starting increase, which is our A. We like to see goals start with verbs that have motion. Actionable. Specific. We want to know what the goal means when we read it again in a month or 2 months. Clarity over brevity. Measurable. Numbers are measurable. Use them if you have them. This is your outcome-based area in your goal statement. T, time-bound. These two need to work together. This outcome and this time frame. And then R is that the whole goal statement is realistic and doable. And our little twist over here, this is our why. Don't oversmart your SMART goals. Have a little heart, a little passion. Why is this goal important? Make sure to add a phrase that explains that. So great SMART goals also have a meaningful commitment with the following items. Somebody owns it. We're really clear about what success looks like, and we're clear about when success is going to be achieved. That's all we have for today. I hope this helps you write SMART goals for your organization. Subscribe to our channel. Happy strategizing.